There's the WEG poster. It's already around, being distributed outside the ground after the match and available at the Herald front counter all this week for $1. It's an annual event, the WEG poster, and already it's out. The Blues are the premiers in 1987, and former premiership umpire Jeff Crouch brought it up for us. In fact, he brought it up before the match. We had one for each team just in case, and we were going to pin them behind the fellas down in the change rooms, and Drew forgot to take them down. Anyway, thanks very much, Jeff. Really appreciate your effort. A great time to have a chat to Bernie Quinlan, who I'm sure is absolutely delighted for his old Fitzroy coach, Robert Walls, and the man that you've described as the best coach you've played under, Bernie.
Yes, he thoroughly deserves it, Tim. I know he puts in a lot of hard work, and he had this team really fine-tuned today. He made a great move putting Rhys Jones onto Dermot Brereton.
Brave?
Well, it was a brave move because, you know, it was an unknown. It was something that hadn't been tried before, but of course Rhys Jones is a great competitor, and anywhere he plays he'll give his full 100%, and that's what he did today. So a great move to Robert Walls and the rest of the Carlton's Brain Trust. He
sounded relaxed in a way that we've never heard him before, and I suppose that's winning a premiership, the weight off your shoulders to have finally done it, but a man who really does deserve it.
Yes, that's for sure. Yes, he's usually pretty guarded, Wolsey, but I'm sure I'd be pretty happy too if I coached a winning side and be fairly relaxed, and he thoroughly deserves it. And I'm sure they had at the back of the mind the injury to Peter Motley, and of course the illness to Des English, and it was great to see the last, when they received the cup, they ran over to the boundary line, and I'm sure they held it up for both those two players.
That's great.
That was great. So they were really committed, and I'm sure they wanted to win it for those two players.
What was so good about Robert in your mind as a coach?
Well, he's very astute, I think, Tim. He didn't worry about too many. He wasn't a hyped-up type of coach. He was very common sense and down to earth, and that was the way he did it, and the boys respected him for that. He'd put a lot of trust in their players, and the players responded to him.
Tremendous struggle for 3 quarters. I think as we look at it with hindsight, we realise that the Hawks were hanging on for grim death. What did you feel at 3-quarter time, that it was still open?
Well, I thought that they were just hanging in there. I think the hard campaign over the 3 weeks before they got to the grand final, they had 3 hard games, 3 hard finals games out at VFL Park. And in the end, I think the loss of Dunstall and the loss of Morris really told, because they really had no one up on that forward line who can kick goals. John Kennedy was the only multiple goal kicker with 3. And apart from that, once they'd put Dermot Brereton out of business, they were really a bit undermanned up on that forward line, Northbourne. So really the better side won, and I don't think it was any other reason other than Hawthorn were undermanned.
And the Blues really look as if they have the potential to be a long-term force. It's a young team. They've done the clean-out. Walls has got them with tremendous momentum and closeness, which I think he established at Fitzroy as well when you were there. And unless something goes drastically wrong, unpredictably wrong, they might well take a bit of beating.
Yes, I think they will be a force to be reckoned with for the next few years, Tim, because you look at the interstate players that they have recruited. Nailey, Kernahan, Dennis, these type of players, they've picked up a lot of players from last year. They would have learnt from their mistakes from last year, and also Silvani's a great player of the future as well, who can play him at full-back, centre-half-back, full forward. He's a very versatile player, and of course with the money that they have got, they can only go on recruiting great players in the future as well.
They've got to save a bit though. They're going to be a bit over the salary cap coming up to next year, aren't they? Which could be a factor in all this.
Oh, they usually find some way around it, don't they,
Yes, John Elliott seems to be fairly good at that. Thanks for staying back, Bernie. It's a bit desolate out the back there now, even though there were 92,000+, a surprisingly small crowd at the MCG on Grand Final day. Thanks for being back and being with us. After the game, the Grand Final has been played and won. Our reviews have been done. We've heard from plenty of people in both rooms, and obviously they're very happy down in the Carlton rooms to have won the flag that eluded them last year, and in the Hawthorn rooms they're taking it like the men that they always have been at Glenferrie. There's something great about the Hawthorn Football Club, and even though they lost on the field today, I think they've won plenty of points off the field. Well, we've got about 42 minutes of football to come in this 1987 season, although I should remind you that we're having a late night 60-minute replay at around 11 o'clock tonight. I believe that's going to air. But our race is now almost run. But for now, we're going to go back to the middle stages of the 3rd quarter, have a look at some action between there and the end of the term, and also some action in the final quarter of the 1987 VFL Grand Final.